The days of GoPro making the best action cameras are probably over. For many, the DJI Action 4 and the Insta360 Ace Pro are now clearly the better choice, even for me. However, the Ace Pro, due to its larger sensor, flip-up screen and the faster chip, is also slightly more expensive than the Hero12. It therefore makes sense to compare the Hero12 with the entry-level model from Insta360, the Ace, which is currently priced closer to the Hero12 and with which you can also save a few dollars compared to the Hero12. But is it possible that Insta360's entry-level camera can keep up with GoPro's top model? Let's find out. There are 15 categories and 1 point for the winner of each category. And we'll start right away with the most important topic, image quality. As you can see, both cameras take very good shots in good lighting conditions. At first glance, the shots look very similar. In fact, both cameras have a sensor of a similar size. The sensor of the Insta360 Ace is 1/2 inch in size, and that of the GoPro 1/1.9 inches. While the Ace's sensor has a standard format, the GoPro has an almost square sensor in an 8:7 format. This has particular advantages if you want to crop a shot either horizontally or vertically. However, it also means that a relatively large part of the sensor is not used when shooting in the standard 16:9 format. Both cameras not only have a comparable sensor size, they also have a comparable aperture. The Hero12 has an aperture of 2.5 and the Ace has an aperture of 2.4, all of which suggests that the two cameras may perform similarly in low light. But there is one key difference between the Ace and the Hero12. While the Hero12 uses a more conventional sensor that can take photos at up to 27 megapixels, the Ace uses a high-resolution 48 megapixel sensor. Now you might think that many more pixels on a similar surface could lead to poorer results, especially in low light. However, the Ace uses a modern quad-pair sensor, which when shooting in 4K for example, groups 4 pixels together and uses them as a single larger pixel. And the Ace has a few more special features that are important. It uses the same modern and fast 5nm chip as the Ace Pro, which enables a range of AI features for example. In addition, in the standard settings, the exposure of the Ace is based on the face. Faces are therefore recognized in the frame and the exposure is optimally adjusted accordingly. You can deactivate this feature if you wish. But let's take a closer look at the image quality categories. Perhaps the most important category refers to the colors, contrast and exposure. In other words, the look of the shot. And as you can see, the colors and contrast of the two shots look very similar. Both cameras take contrasty shots and create a rather warm look. Every now and then there are minor differences in the blue tones or in the white balance. In winter, the sun stands very low here, which often means that it shines directly into my face. Both cameras have their difficulties with this, which is normal. The GoPro overexposes the face, and on the Ace, the face sometimes gets a somewhat unnatural color and looks flat. However, in backlighting with the sun in the background, the Ace's image clearly looks better, as the face is better exposed and the highlights are comparably well protected. If there is no face in the image, the GoPro exposes the image slightly brighter, but this leads to overexposed areas in the image more quickly. In addition to the standard color profile, both cameras have a flat color profile and another color profile with more saturation. Where the Ace has a clear advantage is in artificial lighting conditions. In these cases, the Ace clearly produces better colors. Overall, for me, this is a close call for the Insta360 Ace. The standard field of view of the Ace is roughly the same size as the GoPro standard field of view wide. However, there are a few important differences when it comes to the field of view. I like the extremely wide field of view, which is called Super View on the GoPro and Action View on the Ace, better on the GoPro. It is slightly wider and produces less distortion in the center. On the other hand, the field of view linear, which is the field of view with reduced distortion on the GoPro, is significantly narrower than D-Warp, the distortion-free field of view on the Ace. This is a clear advantage for the Ace. Apart from that, the GoPro's 8:7 sensor offers a few additional options. Shots in 8:7 can be flexibly cropped and there is also the extremely wide field of view hyperview, which, however, has very strong distortions. And then of course there is the Max Lens Mode 2 for the Hero12, which creates an extremely wide, cool field of view, especially in combination with hyperview, although of course it also causes a lot of distortion. However, the Max Lens Mode is a relatively expensive accessory, and also the Ace has another cool feature, the Free Frame Mode. In this mode, the unstabilized shots of the sensor are saved. You can then freely select the field of view and the format in the app after shooting. This can be very useful. For me, this is a draw overall. In standard video mode, the dynamic range of the Ace is slightly better than that of the GoPro. The Ace handles situations that have very dark and very bright areas in the same image a little better. It protects the highlights better than the Hero12, but has a similar amount of detail in the dark areas. Both cameras also have their own HDR mode for particularly demanding situations, and here I like the GoPro's HDR mode better. In HDR mode, both cameras protect the highlights equally well, while the Ace's HDR mode produces a lot of image noise in the dark areas, and I would only recommend it in exceptional situations. That's why I give both cameras 1 point in this category. The Hero12 can shoot in 5.3K at up to 60 frames per second. The Ace, on the other hand, can shoot at up to 6K, albeit only at up to 30 frames per second. The resolution of 6K on the Ace also results in a slight crop. When comparing the 5K resolution of the GoPro to the 4K resolution of the Ace, you can see in the extreme magnification that the image of the GoPro has only slightly more detail, but the image of the Ace is more noisy. When comparing the GoPro's 5K and the Ace's 6K, you can see that the Ace's image has slightly more detail and the noise behavior is similar. Overall, I see a draw here, although perhaps with a slight advantage for the GoPro. 1 point for both cameras. Both cameras take very good slow motion shots in 4K 120. The shots look really cool and the image quality is very good. But the GoPro has an advantage in 4K 120. Unlike the Ace, it also supports the wide field of view super view in this setting, and that makes a difference if you want to take slow motion shots in an extremely wide field of view. The Hero12 also takes slow motion shots in 2.7K at 240 frames per second. For 240 frames per second, you have to reduce the resolution on the Ace to 1080, and the shot of the GoPro looks visibly better. However, this is not so important, because neither of the recordings look good and I would advise against it. Overall, the GoPro has a slight advantage here too, as this was also the case earlier. This time the point goes to the GoPro. Neither camera is the best choice for shooting in low light conditions. Their sensors are simply too small for that. However, the Ace has an advantage in low light. With its pure video mode, it has its own recording mode for better image quality in low light conditions. According to Insta360, the pure video mode is also made possible by the fast 5nm chip. Using AI, the footage is analyzed in real time, the exposure is optimally adjusted, and noise reduction is applied if necessary. And the technology enables visibly better results than with the GoPro. The GoPro reduces the shutter speed considerably in low light to let in more light. This has a very negative effect on the stabilization. In addition, the Ace not only produces the brighter image with similar noise behavior, the colors also look better. This point goes to the Insta360 Ace. In normal use, even with action shots, there is hardly any difference when it comes to the stabilization. Both cameras stabilize the shots well. On the Ace, I noticed small jerks from time to time when there were fast, strong movements. In a direct comparison in the standard settings, the stabilization is comparably good. The situation is slightly different if you activate a stronger stabilization, that is, if you set auto boost on the GoPro and high on the Ace. In this case, the GoPro stabilizes the shot better. The point for the stabilization therefore goes to the GoPro Hero12. Even though the Insta360 Ace doesn't have as good an image sensor as the Ace Pro, the image quality is comparable to that of the GoPro Hero12. I think you could see that quite clearly so far. There were only minor differences in almost all categories. Which camera is the better choice for you is therefore more likely to be decided in the other categories. The body of the GoPro Hero12 is slightly smaller and also lighter than that of the Ace. The difference is not huge, but it is visible. The bigger body of the Ace is also mainly due to the foldable display. Compared to the GoPro, the Ace has an additional button on the top. This quick switch button can be used to change the recording mode or preset quickly and easily. And of course, we also have to talk about the lens cover. The Hero12 has a removable lens cover, while the lens cover on the Ace is fixed. This has led to many discussions. The fixed lens cover has the advantage that no moisture gets in and the cover does not fog up if there are large temperature differences, such as when used in water. However, it does have the disadvantage that you cannot replace it yourself if it is damaged. In fact, I have only damaged a lens cover once in all these years, and that was interestingly on the GoPro Hero12. But in this case, the entire camera was damaged. Insta360 replaces the lens cover free of charge in the first year if you pay the shipping costs. Also because of the size and weight, this point goes to the GoPro. Of course, the flip-up display of the Ace is a big advantage, especially if you are filming yourself, whether vlogging or shooting action. You can judge the framing much better than with the GoPro's front display. The Ace's display is also very robust and doesn't look like it's very fragile. For extreme action, you simply close it. The GoPro's back display is perhaps a little sharper, but the Ace's display is visibly larger, brighter, and also very important, it is much more responsive. Especially in the cold, the GoPro's display simply reacts poorly and it can be difficult to change settings. For me, the flip up and better display is one of the big advantages of the Ace over the Hero 12. 1 point for the Ace. And the magnetic mount of the Ace is also an advantage. You can remove the camera quickly and easily and mount it somewhere else without having to use screws. The Ace sits absolutely firmly on a magnetic mount. There is no camera shake, and as there is also a locking mechanism, it cannot fall off. Due to the magnetic mount, the Ace is mounted slightly higher than the GoPro. Depending on the mount, this can be an advantage or disadvantage. Personally, I would always prefer an action camera with a magnetic mount. 1 point for the Insta360 Ace. I tested both cameras in 4K 30. The GoPro Hero 12 can shoot for 1 hour and 40 minutes in this setting. The Ace for 1 hour and 49 minutes. So it lasts a little longer. And perhaps even more importantly, the Ace's battery charges much faster than the GoPro's battery. The difference is huge, so this point also goes to the Ace. The Insta360 Ace has no problems with overheating at normal room temperatures and shoots in 4K 60 for example until the battery runs out. The Hero 12 switches off at 18 degrees Celsius after about 1 hour and 6 minutes due to overheating. In 4K 120 the Ace lasts 42 minutes, the GoPro 32 minutes. I can't tell you at the moment what exactly it will look like in the summer heat, but the Ace will perform better overall. 1 point for the Insta360 Ace. The Insta360 Ace in particular could be a great choice for vloggers due to the flip screen. So let's do a quick test of the audio quality. Headphones can be connected to both cameras via Bluetooth, for example AirPods, and used as a microphone. However, the audio quality is then rather poor. To connect external microphones to the GoPro, you need the Media Mod. You can also connect an external microphone to the Ace via USB-C, but you will also need an adapter. However, this adapter is significantly smaller than the Media Mod. Both recordings sound similarly loud. Perhaps the Ace's recording is a tad louder. Incidentally, these recordings were made from the same distance, but in D-Warp or linear, and here the Ace's field of view is, as I said, wider. For me, the GoPro sounds a little clearer and also has the wind noise a little better under control. 1 point for the GoPro Hero 12. Apart from the max lens mode, the GoPro has an interesting feature that the Ace doesn't have. A 10-bit lock mode for those who want to edit the colors of their recordings. Even if the GoPro's lock mode is not outstanding, this is an important feature for many. On the other hand, the Ace has various special color filters integrated into the camera software so that you can shoot directly with filters and share the shots immediately. Neither camera captures GPS data internally. However, there is a remote with a fully functional touch display for the Ace, which also captures the GPS data. You can also connect the Ace to the Apple Watch and capture all the data. In addition, apart from the clear image zoom, the Ace comes with all the features of the Ace Pro. It features an AI highlights assistant which recognizes subjects during recording and marks special moments as highlights. In addition to voice control, it also has gesture control. You can start and stop recordings by moving your hand. It takes photos with 48 megapixels. And very interesting, you can pause a recording and then resume it. The Insta360 app also offers more and more interesting features than the GoPro app. So for me, this point also goes to the Insta360 Ace. Now you would think that the name GoPro and its long experience would speak for reliability. Unfortunately, in the past, GoPro has always been characterized by its unstable software. This is not meant to sound derogatory, but there will hardly be any users who have had no problems with their GoPro. And unfortunately, I have to say the same for the Hero 12. My Hero 12, for example, kept refusing to charge, and I had to perform a factory reset several times so that I could finally charge the battery. For me, the lack of reliability has been one of GoPro's weaknesses for years. The Ace always runs stably in all tests and it never crashed, nor did I notice any bugs. The GoPro Hero 12 currently costs $400, the Insta360 Ace $380, but the prices will still change and there will certainly be interesting offers, so keep checking the current offers. Links can be found in the video description. By the way, if you buy via the link of the Ace, you will receive an additional gift. For reliability and price, the Ace gets another point from me and wins by 11-7. As you have seen, you get similarly good image quality with both cameras. The GoPro has slightly better stabilization and is slightly smaller. The Ace comes with a very useful flip screen, significantly more features, and you can also record longer. If you want to know how the Ace compares to the Ace Pro or how the Ace Pro compares to the Hero 12, take a look at my corresponding videos. Give me a like as feedback if you found the video interesting. There will be more videos on the GoPro Hero 12 and the Insta360 Ace. So stay tuned and see you next time.